let's delve more into this by speaking to Nicola Court, who is a fertility specialist from Harlow. Afternoon, Nicola. Welcome to BBC Essex. How are you doing?
Thanks so much for having me on. Nice to speak to you.
Oh, lovely to have you. And I think the show has brought up quite the question. I mean, a year of trying, I'll say in quote unquote marks there, but with no pregnancy. Is that common for couples?
It actually is. It is a average for coming off contraception and falling pregnant. Now, you can talk about, depending on which kind of contraception you're on, depends on how long it stays in the system. So 3 to 4 months is about average, but it can be a year, and for some clients I've seen it can be 18 months. So but it all depends on the type of contraception. So the oral contraception pill is basically, it can take up to a year. So that's not unusual.
All right. So if a couple have been trying for a while, at what stage should they start considering maybe seeing a doctor or some of the alternative methods that might be out there?
Yeah, sure. So I think if there is a history of problems, so if a woman knows that she has underlying health condition like polycystic ovaries or ovarian syndrome, endometriosis, fibroids, history of period problems, then definitely there may be a red flag there. And with men as well, if they know that they have a job that maybe involves a lot of heat around the genital area, like chefs, even firefighters are known to have issues with fertility, then yes, it's certainly worth investigating. But obviously, when you're trying and you're not getting pregnant, people get very impatient and frustrated.
I can imagine. Is a doctor a first point of call here, or are there other things that people can try, Nicola?
If there's no real reason that they can think of, and obviously remembering that every time you get that negative test every month, the stress levels go up. So it's really important to manage stress and anxiety in both partners. So when you are having, I see clients who are preparing for pregnancy, so they'll come and work with me for 3 months in readiness for this. And then if we're working and I find that there may be some issues, we then refer on to having very specific blood tests or investigations. But they can also do that through their GP. They'll do a baseline blood panel to check for the hormones.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea that it can take up to 18 months for the effects of the pill to wear off on women. Are there other things like that that people don't realise that are quite common in women, at least?
In women, definitely. I mean, we have a huge problem, and actually this goes for men, because this program was actually quite ahead of its game in talking about male fertility, and the male impact is massive. So this is not just about Stacey, and the thing with fertility is it takes two to make a baby, right? It's not just one person's responsibility, and it's not just the woman's responsibility to fix everything. So watching your diet, you can fall pregnant if you're overweight or your BMI is high, but being healthy, doing exercise, reducing your stress levels, reducing environmental toxins, reducing there's so many things that you can do which can impact on your overall health, and including taking supplements. There's a lot of supplements that are shown now to have an impact on especially male fertility and female fertility.
Well, we know that Gavin and Stacey does touch on male fertility, I believe, in the next episode, so we'll definitely talk about it more next week. But Nicola, thanks ever so much for joining us in our Gavin and Stacey watch along and sharing your expertise as well as a fertility expert. Are there any last minute tips or pointers that you can give whilst we've got you to particularly women or men who might be thinking, oh, is there something wrong with me? Because that must be quite a fearful thing that even the show touched on there.
Yes, it does cause a huge amount of fear, and it causes a huge amount of emotional distress. So if that is the case, then I'd say do look into it. Do go and see your GP. Seek out somebody like me or other people who are around who do have a really deep understanding of fertility and gynae health and sperm health, and we can guide you. We can advocate for you. And look after you and make sure you're getting what you need, any investigations that need doing, any blood panels, and get you on that route to you finally having your baby, which is the end goal. It's not just about being pregnant, it's about having a baby at the end who's healthy.
Nicola, thank you ever so much. Nicola Court,
thank you so
fertility
much.
specialist from Harlow. Thank you.
Bye.